bone to pick with this whole idea of princess treatment. Hear me out. It's so easy to compare yourself online to these girls who are talking about how their man is always paying for their hair and nails, showing off the new bag he just bought her, the new jewelry he just bought her. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is not princess treatment. True princess treatment is how he can hold you emotionally. It means he doesn't let you go to bed upset. He's patient with you. He doesn't raise his voice at you. You can feel safe to tell him anything that's on your mind, that's bothering you, and he can handle it without it turning into a fight.
What?
Oh, what a coincidence. I have a bone to pick with the whole princess treatment thing myself, and that's the entire concept within princess treatment as a whole. It's not real, and even if it was, trust me, sister, you really don't want it. Your knowledge on how the aristocracy works is based on animated movies and your own baseless assumptions because you binge watch revisionist history period dramas. A princess is a symbol of total submission. Your husband is chosen for you. It's not out of love or destiny, but out of political necessity. You will be under every obligation to obey him as well as every other man in your life. You will be under every obligation to obey every single man in your life without question. And that's because you are the daughter of a man who's believed to be chosen by the highest power imaginable, and that man is backed by the most powerful church on the planet. And betraying that church has dire consequences. To be a princess is to have your life completely dictated by someone else. And I thought you boss bay Yas queens wanted the opposite, but what the hell do I know?
It's how he treats you, from the way he touches you, talks to you. Is he treating you delicately? And don't get me wrong, when my boyfriend buys me something, I am so happy. Like, this man does not even let me open a car door. He will run if he sees me trying to open the car door and open it for me. But I still don't consider that princess treatment. It's not princess treatment, and I don't want any of that stuff if you're still gonna treat me like shit.
Liar, liar, liar. You know, the more I think about it, the more I believe that the door represents the ultimate mindset of the modern woman. Think about it. Modern women are so spoiled and lazy that they just expect things to happen for them. They think that the perfect man is just gonna walk around the corner to find her. She thinks that if she's hungry, some simp on a dating app will feed her. And she doesn't even feel the need to have an actual personality because she assumes men don't care about such things because she thinks she's pretty. She expects all of these things from the world, and that goes double for doors. If you don't open a door for a modern woman, she will be left dumbfounded as she stands outside the contraption waiting for someone else to do the work for her. And that's what this is all about. Modern women don't want to put in any effort when it comes to life in general, and yet they still want to reap the benefits of life at the expense of whatever man she's seeing at that particular moment. Because she may own her own house at an insane mortgage rate, and she may pay her own bills a week late, but when it comes to doors, that's just too much work, and a man must do that for her.
That doesn't make sense.
You know what I just realized? You know when you really love something or someone, you want to learn everything you possibly can about it. You want to know it inside and out, right? Front and back. When you love someone or something, you want to know everything about it. You're obsessed with it, right? You want to learn about it. Like, even if it's your child, you want to get to know your child, understand your child, right?
Wrong! Well, that's just a blatant falsehood. Modern single mothers don't even bother to try to understand their child. It's a sad truth that a lot of these single mothers will weaponize their children against their fathers regardless of how that child feels towards their dad. They'll use the courts to prevent custody, limit contact, and find whatever excuse they can to milk as much child support out of the dad's wallet. Even if the kids love their father, that does not matter to the modern single mother. Regardless of whatever intention she pretends to have, she will ignore the needs of her children in order to satisfy her wants. We see it all the time. And for this broad, she doesn't even understand the concept of safe driving. Just look at how many times she's looking at the road in comparison to how often she looks at the freaking camera. And I can't help but imagine her doing this with the kids in the back seat. Whatever garbage she has to prattle on and on about is so important that she cannot wait to park her car in order to post it on the internet. Because apparently her rhetoric is just as important as a cure for freaking cancer.
When you love your partner, you want to know everything about them. You want to understand them on the deepest level possible, right? Intimacy. When you love a subject, you want to learn everything about it. When you love a type of food, you want to eat it all the time. You want to know how to make it. So I always find it interesting how women take up a lot of time trying to understand men, learning about men, studying men, their behaviors, their thinking patterns, their behavioral patterns. And it's like we got them figured out, and know them like the back of our hand.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
I hate to break it to you, sister, but you figured out absolutely nothing. You assume that you know men inside and out because in your mind, men think exactly like you. You assume that men want the same things as you. And the only reason why you want to know everything about them is because you want to use that man's insecurities, feelings, and weaknesses in order to hurt and ultimately control him. And even though we've told you that you're wrong millions of times over, you refuse to believe the men when they tell you that what they want and what you should be doing in order to get a long-term relationship with a good man. But what makes this even more hilarious is when you take into consideration that most self-respecting men are not that complicated at all. The only ones who make men seem more complicated are modern women and the dating coaches that they follow. But what else can you expect from a woman who's so dense that she can't tell the AI filter she's using for her stupid eyelashes are so fake that even gerbils can tell that she's lying?
That's because women are mothers. There are women who have sons. Women are capable of love. How men still don't know about us. They still don't care to learn about women. They don't care to empathize or understand us at all. It's safe to say they don't give a fuck about us as much as we do about them.
I don't think any of that's true.
All right, if you want to go there, then I got a question for you, sweetheart. If what you're saying is true, and you know men like the back of your hand, then why are you on the verge of crying? You'd think that if you're the all-knowing expert on men, then you'd have yourself a good man, and you wouldn't be complaining about the chads and bad boys who pump and dump you on a regular basis. It's clear to everyone that you have nothing figured out. You just like to talk smack about men to cover up the fact that you've made some terrible life decisions. It's in the words that you say. Men aren't capable of love or empathy. Meanwhile, more often than not, you use your womb as the ultimate victim card. Modern women claim that they are the superior ones because they can give birth, completely disregarding the basic biological fact that in order to give birth, you need a man's DNA. For a woman who claims to have men figured out, you seem to be incredibly ignorant on fairly basic facts, which isn't all that surprising. You're risking your life and your car to complain about men on the internet.
I always said women are bad drivers.
Here's just a little bit of advice I have for people who are dating or hooking up with ethically non-monogamous people or polyamorous people but identify as monogamous themselves. First things first, have they told you about their agreement with their partner or even their agreement with themselves? If you are consistently seeing someone, you have the right, in my opinion, to know what they're up to know what their agreements are, so you can manage your expectations. And maybe you're also probably wondering, is this a good idea to even engage in? Could this be even fun for me? Yeah, if you are a monogamous person and you're just looking to have some fun and get out there and try new things, why not?
No! No, 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 no! No! No, 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 no! No! Not this f***ing time! No f***ing way! No f***ing way! No f***ing way! No f***ing way!
Well, the answer to that question is pretty simple, lady. There's no such thing as ethical non-monogamy. There's nothing ethical about using a man for his resources while having bedroom fun with another. Now, these broads will retort by saying that the man can sleep with other women, but here's the thing. Modern women think that men get as much action as she does. But that's about as true as thinking open relationships are actually a smart idea. Women control access to the bedroom, and men must work in order to gain that access. So most men aren't getting nearly as much action as you think. Add on to the fact that in these open relationships, the woman will absolutely lose it if the man sleeps with someone else. And that's because open relationships aren't about exploration or fun, they're about control. Women in open relationships degrade and emasculate their men at every turn they possibly can, and by participating in that mess, all you're doing is setting yourself up for being caught in the middle of a relationship implosion that's not worth the bedroom fun being provided.
These people can be really awesome people. They oftentimes have great communication skills and are more direct with their needs and their boundaries. But my advice to you would be check in with yourself. Do you know exactly what their agreement is? What are you looking to get out of the relationship? Does it align with the ethically non-monogamous person that you're seeing? And as time goes on, make sure it feels right for you. You can always change your mind.
No.
I've always been under the impression that women who are in these open relationships are terrible with communication. They're dishonest and incredibly resentful. I mean, think about it. What's the whole point of an open relationship? It's for a woman to have the excuse to go out and have as much bedroom fun as she wants, while also being able to disrespect and degrade her significant other. She wants one man to be her ATM and emotional tampon, while she goes off to bang every man that she thinks is better than him. Any bedroom boundaries that she has set for her man will be thrown out the window for every single man that she bones. And what's ethical about that? At the end of the day, it's just a justification disguised as exploration. And getting involved with a broad like that is just bad news, and it comes at the expense of the dignity of a man that you don't even know and has never wronged you in the first place. So it's just not worth it. Besides, all you know about this broad is that she's been on the streets. And once she gets there, you're playing with fiery discharge.
Ew.
Things that I think are personally really weird. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinions, so don't get mad at mine. Or if you tend to be more sensitive, probably don't watch this. Probably don't watch any of my videos, actually. Number 1, living in your mom's basement. Past the age of 20. People are gonna come at me for that. I know the economy. I know everything going on. I get it. I moved out right as I was 18 and I've made it work. So if I figured it out, I promise you, you can figure it out. I think it's weird. Like, go do something with yourself. Also, the more you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, the more you're gonna grow and figure it out. So if you're just scared to move out because of bills or whatever, you're never gonna force yourself to actually get to a point where, like, you get it figured out. So yeah, I think it's weird. It's giving bum. Whatever. Get mad at me all you want for that.
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar. Failure is your destiny. You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
Hey, woman, you need to be careful because you make your money lying on your back and posting thirst traps on the internet. You are not qualified to talk about this subject. A lot of men live with their parents for a number of legitimate reasons. You see, some men actually care about the health and well-being of their parents, and when people get older, they can't do the same things they used to. So men will move back into the house to help them. They'll cook and clean, take care of the heavy labor, and care for them when they get sick. And when you take a look at other countries in both the East and the West, there are many cultures where adults will stay with their families to take care of them just as well as the parents took care of the men when they were kids. So let me ask you a question. Does that make those guys bums? Or are you just jealous that men have more empathy than you? It's called loving your family, lady. You should look into it.
People who are obsessed with anime. I think it's weird as, like, why the f*** are you obsessed with anime? Like, it's not even fucking real, like, it's not real. It's just it's so weird. It's so fucking weird. Especially the people who make their profile pictures, like, anime pictures. Those are always the people to hate first and, like, comment on people's appearances and whatnot. I'm like, calm down. You have an anime profile picture. You won't even use your real fucking face because you're, like, scared to face the real world or something, and you live in this, like, you don't even live in the real world. It's fucking weird. Like, it's weird.
If you ever want to see someone who has a complete lack of the appreciation for the human imagination, you need not look any further than the modern woman. Anime is insanely popular for a damn good reason, and that's because there are many people out there, myself included, who believe that anime is one of the purest forms of creative animation. For the tens of thousands of artists out there who create anime and manga, they are able to utilize this unique art style and completely make it their own. They're able to create incredibly detailed stories the likes the West have never seen before. Even at first glance, just take a look at the differences between Akira, Cowboy Bebop, Attack on Titan, Bleach, Pokemon, and even Speed Racer. These are all animes but have drastically different art styles, character designs, and worlds that are rich in detail and lore. It's a style that can be utilized for virtually any genre, and it captures the imaginations of people in the West who are constantly being force-fed bland propaganda that's devoid of any soul, which explains why you hate anime. You have to have a soul in order to appreciate such an art form. And I'm sorry, I just gotta say it. Anime characters look badass. Who wouldn't want to have an avatar to look like that?
This next one, I will scream on the fucking mountaintops. Men who make any kind of thirst traps and claim to still be real men. I am sorry, but all these like fucking cowboys and all these like people who claim to be men making thirst traps, go build a fucking road. Go ride a fucking horse. Have you even touched dirt before? Why the fuck are you setting up your phone making a fucking thirst trap and then claiming to like be a real man or like a cowboy or anything like that's so fucking weird. That is weird. A man who is making thirst traps like that is not going to provide for you. I don't know who needs to hear that, but he's not, because clearly he has too much time on his hands to be making fucking thirst traps. I want my man busy as he doesn't even have time to think about taking a picture of himself. Like, that's fucking weird. Weird. Gross. Gross. So girls, don't date. Don't even get your heart set on a guy who's making thirst traps. You might be like, oh, that guy's cute. No. Pause. Right as you think that, be like, wait, but he's making a thirst trap. That's fucking weird. Instead of like doing manly shit, he's setting up his phone and he's like, yeah, this is the one. This is, what the f? He really was like, felt cute. Might delete later. Like, ew. Ugh.
Shut up! This is totally different!
You know, that's kind of funny. Men think the same thing about women. Self-respecting men can't stand a woman whose primary source of income, validation, and purpose in life is posting thirst traps on the internet and milking simps for money. You can't post thirst traps and claim to be a real woman. I'm sorry, it's weird and gross. You call yourself a real woman? Then go learn how to cook. Go clean a toilet. Go put on something that hides what little shame you have left. Or better yet, take an afternoon and go read a dictionary so you can learn words to replace the F-bombs you drop as an excuse to not have to pronounce words properly. Go learn how to be pleasant and peaceful, and stop complaining about men on the internet. In fact, do us all one better and just shut your mouth in general. It's not gonna help you any. You're too far gone and too far dumb to actually do anything meaningful with your time. But that American cowboy has a lot of work to do for his family, and he doesn't need to hear your guff as he heads on home to a wife who has a sandwich ready for him in the afternoon and is ready to ride his horse that night. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button. Ring the notification bell, maybe leave a couple of comments, and make sure to share this video so we can get together and give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.